Hi ladies, Ariane with Bumps and Bliss, and I'm holding you in my hands right now. That's how much I love you. So I'm going to try really hard to not move around a lot, but this is just the easiest way to do it. So I had a wonderful subscriber send me a little message and ask what was going on, wanted an update, and I haven't given an update because I was kind of waiting to have something to update on, but it really made me feel good that, like, there's somebody out there that's wondering what's going on with me. So, anyway, so I am, today, I believe that I am 1 DPO, and I really wanted to wait until I had ovulated until I did an update. And so I will go ahead and talk about that. And it's funny because I've been ovulating ever since I was 12, and it's funny that just now it's like this huge celebration party that I ovulated. But this was my first cycle actually taking OPKs, and it's funny because, like, I started taking OPKs on cycle day 6, which I know is kind of early, but I just wanted to cover my bases. This is the first time taking them. And so I started taking them on cycle day 6, and they were negative, and they were negative, and they were negative. And I had kind of hoped in my mind that I was going to ovulate around cycle day 12. And so I was really kind of hoping to see it the line start getting darker, and it didn't get darker, and it didn't get darker. And I didn't actually ovulate until I believe cycle day 17 is when I ovulated, which was yesterday. So I will show you. These are my OPKs. So you can see let's see, it was the most red right here is where it was the darkest. That was cycle day 16 in the evening, and then it started to get a little lighter here. Anyway, so I'm pretty sure that I ovulated yesterday. On the evening of cycle day 16, I was really not crampy, but like a lot of left ovary pain, which is good. If you remember, left ovary is my full functioning fallopian tube. So on my left side I had a lot of cramping tightness that I think it was just full of follicles. I get that, like, kind of tight feeling. And so all day, cycle day 16, it was just kind of crampy, achy, pinchy down there. But then, and I went to bed just thinking, I think I knew I didn't ovulate yet because I could feel that. But by the next morning, the pain was gone. And then all day yesterday, cycle day 17, pain was gone. So I think I ovulated, I'm guessing, just guessing, that I ovulated sometime in the night, and that's why the pain left. And so I'll show you my chart. Well, actually, my chart from last month, I started charting, and last month I ovulated cycle day 17, and so it makes sense. So it hasn't, no, there's no crosshairs. I'm hoping tomorrow I will be up here, and then my crosshairs will come up. That's what happened last cycle. It shot up a little bit, and then it shot up more, and then it showed the crosshairs, and then I ovulated cycle day 17. So really this chart looks a lot like it did. Let's see if I can. That's a little better. There we go. It actually looks a lot like it did last cycle. Okay, now if you look at the very bottom, look how many times my husband and I BD'd. If you can tell, this whole line right here is our BD pattern. It's really funny because we've been married for 5 years, and I don't think we've ever had this much sex, and it was like a full-time job. So we pretty much, for those of you trying to conceive, you probably know what I'm talking about, but we pretty much BD'd every day. From cycle, let's see, we started on cycle day 7, which I know is kind of early, but let me tell you, I was excited. I was just like, I think it was more like just happiness beating than it was actually functioning, trying to get pregnant beating. But starting cycle day 7, so between cycle day 7 and cycle day 17, so 10 days, we BD'd every day but 2. And so the last 5 days we BD'd every day, 5 days in a row. Okay, so a little backstory. Right before I ovulated, I got a yeast infection. TMI. I'm not even going to put a TMI warning, because the only thing TMI warnings do is make you want to watch more, because let's face it, girls, we want TMI. That's why we're watching these things. So I got a yeast infection. I haven't had a yeast infection since we were married, since I think right after we got married, and I had it for almost a full day before I realized what it was, and I researched symptoms, and I was like, crap, I think I have a yeast infection. Like, I don't get them. I just don't ever get yeast infections. And so I'm sitting here going, crap, what are the chances? It was like 2 days before I thought I was going to ovulate. What are the chances I get a yeast infection? And so I felt like at that point it was me against the world. Like, it was me trying to get pregnant against the yeast infection, against so the other thing that happened was my husband, we've been rototilling our garden and working in our garden, and my husband's been using the rototiller, and it got him really sore. It wore him out, and he worked really hard on it, and he was sore. Like, everything that could go wrong with his body went wrong with his body, and the poor thing did not want to get busy with me. I don't want to say he didn't want to, because he didn't say I don't want to, but he was hurting, and I was hurting because I had a yeast infection, and I'm sitting here going, this is the worst time for all this to be happening, and I felt like I was at war, and I'm like, no, we have to do this. Just, you tighten up, clench your fists, and just do it. I'm just going to tighten up and clench my fists and do it, and it was funny because I really felt like I had to fight for this. Like, it wasn't just like enjoyable sex. It was like, no, we're going to get this done, and even though you've got all your things going against you and I've got all my things going against me, we still got to do it. And so it was funny, but it was kind of scary for me too, because I knew, like, I know your acidity levels change when you have a yeast infection, and I didn't want to take messy creams. I didn't want to take an over-the-counter cream, because that's the last thing you want up and in there when they're competing with the sperm. Like, anyway, just the worst thing. So I ended up having to go to the doctor and get on a pill. And the other thing that I wanted to share with you, what I've been using, and many of you women know about these, we've been using soft cups. Let me turn the camera a little bit. Which I only have one hand, so I'm not going to take it out of the package, but you can use it when you're on your period, but you can also use it to get pregnant as like a barrier. And so every time we would BD, I would insert it. And so I'm hoping, I don't think there is anything I could have done differently this cycle. I don't think there's anything I could have done more this cycle. We had sex every day. I knew when I ovulated, we had sex up and around there. I've also been taking a lot of supplements, and I kind of want to do a whole nother vlog on that, but I've been taking Vitex, and I've been taking maca root and B6, because I think my luteal phase is about 10 days, and so even though it's not bad, I would like to lengthen that, and so I'm trying to lengthen that with the B6 and the Vitex. And I've been taking, you know, all sorts of other supplements. In fact, like I said, I'm going to do a vlog on all the things that I'm taking, and I look like a drug dealer because I have so many supplements that I'm taking, just healthy supplements like fish oil and vitamin E and vitamin D and magnesium. Like, I look like a drug dealer, and my husband always teases me that I'm a drug dealer, but I don't sell it. I mean, come on, they're not good drugs. You could buy these over the counter, so anyway, oh, okay, and then my friend wanted me to share this because she thought it was hilarious. I was tracking my CM, and it seems that my CM is everywhere, and I don't mean that literally. It's not everywhere, but like, it didn't follow a pattern like it normally does, and I don't know if this was just a weird month, but at about the time I was really fertile, I didn't really have fertile CM, and so I had read that you could use egg whites for CM. For fertile CM, like as a lubricant. And so I tried it, and she thought that was hilarious. She'd never heard of that before, and so go ahead and Google it. I mean, it worked. It was really wet, but it worked. I mean, it worked at least as a lubricant. It worked. It's cheap. It's, I mean, free. You got an egg in your fridge pretty much, and it's a lot cheaper than the pre-seed that a lot of people are using. So, but I don't know. A lot of women may not feel comfortable putting egg whites in their Kahuchi, but whatever. I'm a cheapie. I don't like spending money. I'm not gonna spend $20 on pre-seed. I'm sorry. So haha. What else? Okay, I'm about out of time. So Yeah, I'm out of time. So anyway, thank you ladies, and I'll update you when I'm a little more DPO.